Love music, love talk, love Wycombe Sound.
Monday Movies on Wycombe Sound 106.6 FM.
Anyway, hello.
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 Welcome to
Autonomous
the Monday Movies.
sensory
Oh.
meridian response.
Nobody cares.
I'm just answering the question.
Welcome to the Monday Movies podcast, which will come
Hello.
to you sometime after the pandemic is finished. probably.
Saturday, maybe
They seem
Sunday.
to get later and later.
I know,
and
I'm sorry. There's literally nothing I can do.
No, we know that. There's literally nothing you can do.
No, there's literally nothing I can do.
Anyway, yeah, it's Duncan, Tobi, Luke. We're here
Hi.
with you for another hour and 10 minutes.
10 minutes. If
Yeah,
you watch,
no
if
longer
you
than
if
10
you listen to
minutes.
us on Spotify, when the podcast eventually went up last week, don't know why it was half an hour long. Bit weird.
Maybe they cut all the boring bits out.
Maybe that's what it was.
Oh no, you said it was half an hour long.
Half an hour long, yeah.
No, all right, no. Coming up on tonight's show, we have got very
Hang on,
little film.
excuse me.
What?
Duncan,
Yeah.
what's coming up on tonight's show?
Oh God! No, you don't get paid for it. It's not like I'm doing you out of a job. A little bit of film news and quite a few film reviews. The big one being The Old Guard on Netflix, which we have all seen.
We have all seen.
We have.
Yes.
We have all seen it.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have. Should we go on with the show?
Exactly.
Yeah, because we've got nothing else to say. We've said
No,
we've got nothing else. We don't want to
Let's do it.
overuse anything in this bit.
No, 'cause we need it
we'll have nothing
later.
to say in the next bit. So anyway,
Exactly.
take it away, Alice. Yes, it's 7 o'clock on a Monday evening, which means it's time for an hour of film chat and reviews with me, Duncan Strip, Toby Stubbs, and Luke Davis. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Hello.
How are we?
Great. How are you?
Not bad.
Great, thank you. I was
Are
kind of
you?
hoping that Victoria would do about 10 more minutes of news,
Oh, really? Why is that?
just to fill a bit of time. I thought something.
Stop worrying.
I thought they might have found another poo in Johnny Depp's bread or something, and we could. She would have gone on about that. Oh, rich people—they're not like us, are they? Anyway,
I'm glad
welcome
I
to
finished my dinner.
welcome to Monday Movies. We're here for another hour to talk films. Well, to talk whatever films are left, because it's getting harder and harder each week to fill the time, because the film news is dwindling, the film releases are dwindling. But we're still here to keep you company. If you want to get involved, you can email mondaymovies@wycombsound.org.uk or go to facebook.com/Wixo Monday Movies, or you can contact us on WhatsApp. The number is Luke.
01494 449900, or contact us on the live video on Facebook or YouTube.
Hang on, I was just about to do
sorry.
that.
You always forget every week.
And if you want to see three gorgeous faces along with the audio,
There's loads of other things on
I was
YouTube
going to
right
say
now.
on BBC One at the moment, it's the one show. No, we are live on video on Facebook.
Hello.
And also on YouTube. Where do they go to find us, Luke?
Facebook.com/Wycombe Sound, YouTube.com/Wycombe Sound.
Wow, what a shock. Okay, we're on
You've got a
Twitter as
smart
well.
not on Twitter, no. If you've got a smart TV, we could be on your telly right now.
What,
Yep.
huge?
Huge, yeah.
Oh, nobody wants that, do they?
It looks great, actually.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks really
What,
good.
even with us on it?
Yeah, even with us on it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, that's all the ways you can get in touch or
That
watch.
filled 2 minutes, so there we go.
That's
Good
2 minutes filled. What else can we talk about?
I don't know.
We'll have some film news, and the big review this week will be The Old Guard, the new big budget action film from Netflix, which stars Charlize Theron, and we've all seen it.
Wow.
It's getting good, isn't it? Who knew the way to get you two to watch a film every week was to make sure you could watch it in the comfort of your own home
Not have anything else to do.
and not have to go somewhere to watch it. It's good. Anyway, how have you been?
Good, thank you.
Because
good.
lockdown is easing.
Yeah.
You go outside now. Basically, lockdown is finished.
I went for
I
a
would
walk.
say. You've been for a walk, which is
Yeah.
good,
Did 5,000 steps today.
which isn't much.
No, but it's better than nothing. At some points, it was just zero.
I've probably done less than that today.
Oh,
Lazy Monday. I've been in my garden just on my laptop.
in the grounds,
the
lovely
grounds.
Jobs.
Love. Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, there's a nice river flowing through. No,
Oh, nice.
no,
There probably
it's
is.
There probably
He
is.
says that as a joke.
There is.
There probably is.
No, it's an estuary.
It's a lake at the bottom of his garden, like in Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Holmer Green today, and guess what?
You got lost.
I got lost coming
You
back from
have
Holmer
been to
Green.
Holmer Green before, though.
Holmer Green is literally a 10-minute drive away from my house.
Yeah.
It took me 30... I ended up in Little Missenden, for people in Wycombe who will be laughing at me now, because I didn't know where I was.
You've been to Holmer Green before, though.
I have been to Holmer Green before,
Did you have a
yes.
phone on you?
I did. I did have to stop at one point and put it into my sat nav to find out where I'm going.
Do you know what I would like to do? Is blindfold you, put you just somewhere in the country, put a GoPro in your car, and just let you try and get home. I think it would be hilarious TV.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm just not very good
At anything that's not the A40 from Loudwater to the M25, and maybe into town.
Yeah.
Town down to Junction 3 on the M40, and that's it for Duncan.
Yeah, I'm even when and the thing was, I was going to someone's house for a meeting. I'd been there once before.
Right.
Drove there. Thought, it's fairly straight. Oh, yeah, through Hazelmere. Oh, yeah, just turn right. Okay, then turn left and turn right. Oh, I don't need the sat nav to get home. I just come out of the house, turn left, turn right, and no, I ended up in the middle of a field somewhere. It was ridiculous.
Oh, we can only apologise. I'm sure it'll be in the local news tomorrow.
Hopefully, can I just say, we should have a review coming in from Maddie as well, who has watched Mrs. America on BBC Two, which we talked about last week, and she's written us a little review, which is nice.
It's very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I did ask her to record one, but she didn't want to do that.
Oh, well, I don't blame her.
No, I know. Should we have some film news?
Shall we have some film news?
Well, there isn't a lot. There's two pieces, and one of it isn't even news. It's speculation.
We haven't got anything for that.
Have we not got a speculation sound effect?
Speculation.
No. The speculation is that No Time to Die, the Bond film, which was the first film to move at the start of all this, and we laughed at them for doing it,
We did.
but they obviously knew more than we did. Maybe this whole virus is a Blofeld plan. It's a big marketing campaign for the Bond film.
I don't think so.
No, the
I
Bond
don't
film
think
is about
so.
a virus that's been let loose in the world, and this is its marketing
We
campaign.
all know this. In a couple of years' time, there will be a coronavirus film.
Oh, I would think not in
Absolutely.
a couple of years. I would think in a couple
Probably
of
in
months.
production
Yeah,
already.
but no one will want to watch that.
Right, exactly.
Like, let's say next year, if it came out next year, everyone's going to be like, no, I don't want to be reminded. of
No.
that
Let's
time.
not relive that now.
No.
Exactly.
Anyway, the Bond film, which was the first film to move, it moved to, I think it was November the 21st. It stayed there this whole time. Speculation now is that it may move to summer next year,
Wow.
which is a long wait.
That is a long way.
And do you remember when the Bond song was announced?
Billie
That
Eilish,
seemed
yeah.
like a year ago.
You know what? It probably is.
No, it was only a couple of months ago.
Was it this year?
It was this year, young
Wow.
Mr.
No, it
Davis.
was
Yes,
not.
it just feels like it's like
that feels
Paris.
much longer than that.
It's like Parasite winning the Oscar for Best Film. That feels like a year ago, but it wasn't. It
Right.
was 4 months ago.
Who wants to get to the closest? When did No Time to Die, the song, come out by Billie Eilish?
February 21st.
January or February, yeah.
It was February the 13th. That is crazy. I thought it was the end of last year.
Wow.
When was it? Sorry.
February the 13th.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
Okay. Now I need to contact Maddie because she's actually recorded
That's
a
fine.
review.
Send it
So
over. Send it
Could you
over.
if you could just message her and tell her to send it to your email address, that
Okay.
would be great, Luke.
That's fine.
Thank you very much.
On air production.
On-air production, on-air content. That's what
what
we
it
need.
is.
So that's Bond, which is probably moving and breaking in the last 10 minutes. News about Tenet. You know Tenet, the film that
The
was
film that would
gonna
never move.
That's right. And then it moved twice, and it was due for release, I think, towards the end of August. Or around my birthday, actually, around August 21st is when it was going to be released. Now news arrives. Warner Brothers has delayed Tenet's release date indefinitely. The shocking announcement comes after months of release date pushbacks and discussion over whether there will ever be a right time for Christopher Nolan's new mind-bending movie to help reopen movie theatres.
Is this just a big PR stunt?
I don't know. Additionally,
Oh,
this
that
announcement
sucks.
comes with a new official statement from Warner Brothers on their plans to market and distribute Tenet globally. Here's what we know at the moment. Before Monday, Tenet's release date had been pushed twice. Initially, it was scheduled for July 17th. The most recent release date was scheduled for August the 12th. In a show of confidence, new posters were produced boasting the August release date, and they were unveiled earlier this month. However, this afternoon saw the release of an official statement on Tenet's indefinite delay via Variety magazine. Warner Brothers chairman Tobi Emmerich said, "We will share a new 2020 release date imminently for Tenet, Christopher Nolan's wholly original and mind-blowing feature. We are not treating Tenet like a traditional global day and date measure. release, and our upcoming marketing and distribution plans will reflect that. So,
This
on
has
the one
cost them
hand,
so much money in
I know.
marketing.
This is what I was just about to say. I feel sorry for all the the editors and people making the posters and doing the marketing. It has to be done now because the film is definitely coming out, and
At least
obviously
they've
now
got a
they're not
job,
using
Toby.
True.
on the one hand, on the negative side,
Yes.
it's been delayed again. On the positive side, the statement says we will share a new 2020 release date.
Yeah.
So it's still this year. I think the problem is, and we spoke about this, I think, last week.
They'll do December.
I think the problem. Okay. I think the problem is that we talk
Sorry,
about.
you're trying to talk. Sorry, go on. I apologize.
I've had a bad day, Toby.
Don't set him off.
Don't make me punch this screen where I can see your face.
That would be quite funny, though.
Obviously, this is one of the biggest films of the year, and they wanted a global release, so it was released everywhere on the same day, and that stops the opportunities for piracy. What they're probably going to do now, and what they'll be looking at now, is where they can release it, because obviously the main area they want to release, where they make the most money, is America.
Yeah.
And America now is having 50,000 cases of coronavirus every day. So cinemas that were open have now closed again. So they definitely won't be able to release it in America in August. But that's not to say they can't release it in other areas of the world. So now they're obviously all sitting down planning where it's safe to release and where they're going to get the most money from. Because again, they won't want to release it in a territory where only a few cinemas are open. Because what's the point? They're not going to make any money.
I think their best bet is to move it either to the end of the year or move it to the beginning of next year, because if they move it just a couple of months, then anything could happen by then. If they move it to the end of the year or the beginning of the year, then at least there's some time to see what is going on. Because Mulan hasn't changed back yet, or neither is Black Widow. They're still coming out.
Oh, I have some more. You see, what's the? It's not news. It's speculation. We need the speculation jingle again.
Speculation.
There has been speculation last week that both Mulan and Black Widow may possibly go straight to Disney Plus.
Now, see, I said this ages ago, that why don't they just, because I can't see Mulan...
Because they won't make any money.
I know, but I can't see Mulan making a lot anyway.
Oh, I would think it would make quite a lot.
Do you?
It's going to be in the 300 or 400 million. So, for say a film like Black Widow,
Black Widow, they're never going to put it up on whatever it's called. What's it called? Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. No, that is the rumor now that it will go on to Disney Plus. But they have to realise that the amount of money that they're going to lose, because 500. Say it's going to take 500 million internationally.
Yeah.
Putting on Disney Plus, the only upside is if more people subscribe to Disney Plus, but they're not going to make 500 million from it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm surprised by what's it called, Black Widow. I'm surprised they're just going to go, well, we'll put that up. But I am not surprised by Mulan. Really,
I'm surprised by Mulan because it's a huge big box office film, female director with an ethnically correct cast, and that's what was selling it. And it's a massive film. It cost a fortune. I think it probably cost more than Black Widow to make.
Really?
Yeah, most of Black Widow's probably CGI.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Mulan has got armies, real people. Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. That's more speculation.
Yeah. Well, it'll be very interesting to. I mean, again, Disney U-turning, because we're not going to put things straight onto Disney Plus. They're going to have their normal. I mean, I know different circumstances and everything, but if this goes down really well and they get, I mean, let's be honest, Disney need the content on Disney Plus. If this goes down really well, then they might do this more often.
Yeah, because to be honest, there's not a lot that's dragging me to Disney Plus unless I want to rewatch Disney, Pixar, and Marvel. Every time I see something online saying new to Disney Plus, it's like some.
I've seen Maleficent trailed for about 3 months now. It's ridiculous.
I meant new stuff that they've made especially for Disney Plus. I mean, there's not a lot.
Do you think that's why they're taking the Disney Channel stuff off to terrestrial? I know it's not, but TV, and putting it all on Disney Plus, because then they've got all that content which is original and it's all going to be on there instead of it being on its own channel.
Yes, they want it all in one place.
Yeah.
So so Amazon, BBC, ITV, anyone who's got Disney Plus now, obviously all their contracts and license periods run out at different times.
Yeah.
But as soon as that license period runs out, it will be on Disney Plus, and they won't let anybody else have it.
No.
So, but yes, but they don't. They just don't have much to watch.
They just haven't got anything on there. That's the problem.
mean, apart from a couple of.
Carry on, Duncan.
Apart from a couple of the movies, the old live action ones, which we've revisited, and the documentary about the theme parks, which was very good.
It was very good.
And apparently there's a new behind the scenes Frozen 2 documentary.
There is. That
on there,
weirdly came out before the film over here.
So, over here.
Over here. Hello.
Yeah. So it needs product. So maybe a Mulan or a Black Widow is the kind of
thing to
boost
do.
it needs.
Winter Soldier has been. Is that what it's called? What is it called?
It's called the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That stopped production again, although it's been postponed further back into next year, which I'm sure will have a knock-on effect on WandaVision and Loki, which I don't even think they've started.
No,
everything.
Yes.
No, sorry, it's a bit off topic 'cause it's not Disney Plus related, but they just
Toby, it's fine. We need
Keep
the
going,
content.
Toby.
Any topic is fine.
They just started filming the Uncharted film with Tom Holland, and he's been working closely with Chris Hemsworth to get ripped, basically. But again, I don't know if that production's going to shut down soon.
Is Batman still going?
The Batman, no, because that's that was up in Glasgow. So no, Jurassic World Dominion started a week ago and stopped 3 days later.
I think that's happening quite a lot. They're starting and then stopping.
Yeah.
So I don't really. Yeah, that's weird.
It's not good.
Weird times.
It's not great, is it?
Weird times we live in, isn't it? We're living in a pandemic movie.
I was speaking to my dad the other day, and he just said he'd
Dave?
never.
Dave?
Good old Dave. Yeah.
Evening, Dave.
Dave
Dave
the Rave.
Oh, is he?
No, he's not. Ironically, he doesn't go raving, or I don't think he's ever been raving. But
I thought you were going to say, ironically, his name's not actually Dave.
No, Dave the Rave. I was talking to him about it the other day, and he was just saying he's never experienced anything like this in his life.
No.
He just said this is honestly one of the weirdest years he's.
Yes.
Never seen anything. Literally the whole world closed down.
This will be when we grow up. Well, when you we'll obviously grow up.
Have you not grown up yet?
I'm going to get to the old age pension age, obviously a lot sooner than you.
Yeah.
But this will be our Second World War.
Yeah, during lockdown.
Your grandparents always say, "Oh, it was terrible during the war." We'll be like, don't you? When you have kids, you two, you'll be going, and they're moaning about not being able to do something. You'll be going, "Oh, I remember in 2020 during the pandemic, we couldn't even leave the house."
No, exactly.
Yes, this is our war. Against an invisible enemy.
Is that going to be the film title?
What, the invisible enemy? It's funny because I was talking to my mum.
I
like that, actually, yeah.
Thank you. Copyright.
Quickly, Duncan.
I was talking to my mum, who's 90, bless her, and references the war every second. She's losing it a bit, but she references the war all the time. And she doesn't understand why we have to stay indoors and why people have to wear masks, because all she keeps saying is, we didn't have to do that during the war.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, but the Germans weren't an invisible enemy in the air. You could see them.
You could hear
when
them.
they were coming. Yeah. Yes. I imagine she was one of the ones who refused to switch out her lights during the blackout. Why the hell?
They won't see me.
Exactly. Anyway, that filled a bit of time, didn't it? It's
nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about at all. Nick Keir with the Funk and Hole Archive. I know his brother, I know his brother.
Do you know his brother?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ike. Thank you very much.
Nick was watching, so I'm sure he's never heard that joke.
I'm sure he's never heard
before. You like the Funk and Soul Archive?
I like a professionally presented show, yes, and I very rarely get to hear one. I mean, I listen to you and I listen to my own show, so it's nice to hear how the professionals.
You listen back to your own show?
No, but I can hear it while I'm doing it.
Right,
and I'm thinking, good grief, is anyone listening to this? Oh, of course not. No, it's a good show. Anyway, welcome back. Monday Movies. It's Toby, Luke and Duncan here with you through until 8 o'clock. Colin will be up after the news at 8 with Chatsworth. He'll be along later to tell us who's on his show.
Who's on his show?
That's always a good show as well. Again, professional.
Professional, yeah.
I feel my microphone, something's going wrong, I think.
Keep going. Just
keep going.
Just
Keep going.
keep calm and carry on.
Are we just ploughing ahead?
Yeah.
Let's just plough ahead.
Here we go.
Should we have some reviews?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
Okay, good. Well, let's leave the old guard till the end, shall we?
Okay. Yes.
Yes. We'll wait for this to blow up.
Okay. I'm not sure what's wrong. Everything at my end is fine at the
Okay.
moment.
Duncan, just stay there a second, and I'm just going to move you around, and now that's probably better.
Do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good. Okay. If you're listening, Nick, I bet you're laughing.
Oh, I hate technology.
He's sitting there with his wife going, I've never sounded this bad, have I? Please tell me I've never sounded this bad. Let's have some reviews. We'll save the old guard till last because that's
Okay.
the big one. Let's have some other stuff that we've been watching. You two have both watched a film each. I know you don't want to mention yours, Luke,
I can't even remember what it's called, and we spoke about it half an hour ago.
but you can
It was
just
that good.
quickly say how bad Failure to Launch is.
Thank you. So it stars Matthew
Oh,
McConaughey,
yeah, I've seen this.
the one from
Yeah.
Sex and the City, and Zoe Deschanel. And it's awful. I just got really bored really quickly. It just annoyed me. It's like a stupid plot. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey annoyed me. Zoe Deschanel was alright. Yeah, not great.
All right, no recommendation there.
Not
And where can people avoid that?
Netflix.
Netflix. So you avoid that on Netflix. Toby, what was the film you watched?
Apart from the old god, I've seen a film called Never Back Down, which I don't know if you two have seen. I watched it when I was growing up.
Is it a
About-
fighting film?
It is.
I have seen this, yeah.
It's a MMA fighting film set in America, and basically a family moved to Florida, and the father died in a drink driving accident, and the son, the oldest son Jake, he was there at the scene of the crime, and his mother blames him for not letting his dad drive. Basically, yeah, she blames him for the death of his father, which is, it's a kind of weird kind of I can't think of the word.
Thought-provoking?
Yeah, no, but a dynamic. It's like a weird
Right.
dynamic between the two, and she hates fighting. She does. They've lost the father in a car accident. She doesn't want her son to get beaten to death, and he is. When anyone says anything about his father, he. Sorry, I've just seen.
Yeah, ignore him. Just ignore him.
He's just being silly. Well, he's not being silly. He's actually being very
Safe.
responsible.
Yeah,
Safe.
well done.
But yeah, and so the film. So they moved to Florida, and he goes to a new high school, and this. But before, you see a clip of he's in an American football game, and someone says something makes a comment about his dad, and he loses his temper, literally loses it, and beats up this guy. Anyway, they moved to Florida for the he's got a brother, a younger son, who's a very good tennis player.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'll get into it. Anyway, long story short, there's like a bully who's really good at fighting at the school, and he says, like, they're at a party, he says, like, come on, fight me, and he's like, no, I'm not, I'm done fighting. I don't fight anymore. Blah blah blah. Anyway, they do end up fighting. He gets absolutely annihilated in front of the whole school, and he wants to get him back. So he joins this fight club, and the rule is from the trainer. He says, "Look, there's no fighting."
Don't talk
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Is that the first rule?
And no, you're allowed to talk about it, but you're not allowed to fight outside the club.
Right,
That's the one
okay.
rule. And then right at the end, one of his best friends, literally, this guy beats him up to get his attention.
Right.
And he feels responsible. He feels so responsible for not doing and stopping this guy from beating up his friend. He goes against what his trainer says and fights this guy at the end. But I mean, overall, it's an okay watch. It's very.
After all that, I thought you could go, it's amazing.
No,
Yeah.
it's funny. I've rewatched a lot of films that I watched years ago, and they're just not as good as I remember. I mean, this is an okay film, very 2000s. It's got a very 2000s soundtrack, and yeah, I mean, if you're a teenager, you'll probably love it.
I'm not.
But well, you guys, you'll think it's okay. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's not the best film in the world. But it's it brought me back to a lot of memories because me and my friends used to love watching that film.
Out of 10?
6, 7,
Okay.
6.5.
13 then.
Do you remember a film, both of you?
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
Do you remember? Sorry.
Oh, we went for
go
different,
for it, Toby.
we went for different eras there.
Do you remember a film called Pay It Forward?
Yes, I do. Terrible film.
Yeah, I remember watching it in school many times.
Shouldn't really talk about it now, of course,
No.
because of who's in it.
Yeah, but it came up in conversation the other day, and I just had this horrific flashback to watching it many times in school. That, Romeo and Juliet, and just them two, really.
Okay.
Oh, was it 2012 when New York floods? Or is
Who
it
knows?
the day after tomorrow?
Day after tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we watched at school.
It's funny talking about Pay It Forward. There was somebody on Letterboxd was putting a list of films together whose titles have become common language.
Okay, yeah.
And one of them really surprised. So the Full Monty was one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the others now, and I can't. I have to bring the list up. But the one that surprised me was The Bucket List, the film with Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson.
Oh, okay.
I thought The Bucket List was a thing, and they made a film about it.
Well, that's what I thought as well, but
No, apparently The Bucket List was from the film.
Wow.
who knew?
This person.
That is
Obviously.
it's a very common phrase.
Yeah,
Very.
it is now. You know, there's like
Yeah.
To be
life
honest,
coaching about it.
I think if you're going to meet someone for the first time, that's the question I would ask someone.
Is that your chat
Fine.
line, Toby?
No. But just if you really want to let's say you've only got like a minute to get to know someone. Let's say if you're speed dating, for example,
Okay.
I would just say what's on your bucket list, and then you find out about that person instantly.
Really? So what? So okay, Toby, we're dating. We got a minute. What's on your bucket list?
Off the top of my head, I want to go travelling. Off the top of my head, the 2 destinations I really want to go to.
No, you can't say I want to
Hang
go
on.
travelling. Isn't a dumb bucket
Japan
list?
Japan and New Zealand. They're my top 2. I really want to go to.
Right.
I want to make albums. I want to go snowboarding. I want to have snowboarding lessons. Go snowboarding. I want to fly in a helicopter.
Okay.
I want to.
I mean, you don't need much money for them.
No,
As long as you earn 50,000 a year, you're fine.
Right, yeah.
I can buy my own one then.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. What's on your bucket list? Quick.
Oh, nothing. Sorry.
Perfect.
I've got moved to Australia. Yeah. I've got the list now. These are movies.
That
whose
Toby, is what we like to call filling.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wait, we've got time to fill, so fill it.
So these are the movies whose titles became widely used generic terms. So we have The Full Monty, Bucket List, Groundhog Day,
Really?
obviously, yes.
Full Monty as well. I suppose, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
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 Pay It Forward apparently came from the film. I
don't think that's
sure
commonly
about that.
used now, though, is it? As much?
Well, it's maybe in America.
Maybe.
Sophie's Choice.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're talking to Sophie, yeah.
No, if you've got a difficult decision, you say, "Oh God, that's worse than Sophie's Choice."
Never heard that in my life.
Okay.
Never heard that either.
Have
Never
you
heard
heard
that
of Sophie's Choice?
No, who's she?
Sophie's Choice is a Oscar-winning film starring Meryl Streep, and she plays a Jewish woman living in New York who flashes back to the time she spent in Auschwitz. And Sophie's Choice at the end of the film is she has to decide which of her 2 children is gassed.
Wow, okay.
That is Sophie's Choice. Gaslight, which came from a film in the 1930s. Catfish, which came from the film Catfish. Yeah, that's it. There you go. There's probably more.
If you said the Sophie's Choice one to me, I would have said, "Who's Sophie?"
Yeah,
that's what I would have said as well.
And it's great that you're both on a film show. Anyway, good. Anyway, Maddie has reviewed something for us.
Hello, yes.
Yes, while we sort out the sound issues, because again, something seems to be going wrong. Maddie has been watching Mrs. America, which is on BBC 2. It's showing 2 episodes a week. I think there's 2 more weeks to go. But if you like it, all the episodes are streaming for free on the iPlayer now. I watched it I've started watching it. I'm just over halfway through and think it's absolutely excellent. Let's hear what Maddie thought.
Well, like Duncan, I have been watching Mrs. America and absolutely loving it. In fact, I've binge-watched the entire series. I'm really sad that I've now got to the end of episode 9, and I know there can't be any more because that's the end of the story. So for people who don't know, this is all about, it follows the trailblazers of the women's lib movement. So that's Betty Friedan, who's played by Tracy Ullman. She's incredible. Gloria Steinem, who's played by Rose Byrne. Shirley Chisholm, played by Uzo Aduba. And Bella Abzug, played by Margot Martindale. And the star of the show, they're all amazing, but for me, the star of the show is Kate Blanchett, who plays Phyllis Schlafly. And the series follows the battle, really, between the feminists, or the women's lib movement, and the conservatives, sort of housewives. So the feminists were trying to get the Equal Rights Amendment through the Constitution, and that was seeking to end discrimination on the basis of sex. And it took state by state. The feminists had to lobby to get the different legislatures of each state to pass that legislation. They needed 38 states, I think, to pass it for it to go into the Constitution. And the series takes you through that journey as they gradually got more and more states to sign up. So apart from the education into American constitutional history, which is fascinating, the character studies and the casting, I think, is incredible, because I've had a look online to look up each of these individual women, and the casting, they've actually taken enormous trouble to make sure that these women look like the people that they're playing actually did look like. Gloria Steinem, Rose Byrne plays Gloria Steinem. It's a fantastic, she's not a double at all, but a really good resemblance. They all, so that, that level of detail is good. To be honest, I haven't bothered to look about how accurate the portrayal of the men are, but to be honest, the men play pretty much second fiddle in this series. So the setting, the way they've portrayed it, the look of the whole series is fantastic. Set in the 70s, 80s, that sort of thing. So the costume, the hair, the makeup, all of that looks fantastic. And the soundtrack, I love it. Okay, maybe, I'm or older than maybe some people who are going to be watching this, and the title track, which is Walter Murphy, A Fifth of Beethoven, I think is terrific. And all the titles look amazing. So I think they've done a really good job. I have never watched Mad Men, and I will do that. Unfortunately, it's not on Netflix anymore. It's on a different platform. But I'm told that Mad Men, obviously, that's a seven series program, and the setting, I think, is quite similar. I think Madison Avenue advertising in that same sort of period. So with 7 series, they can really go into a lot more detail and character development. But these women, particularly in the 70s and 80s, the struggle they had and the influence or not that they had in trying to push forward the Equal Rights Amendment, basically, so that and it wasn't just about women either. It's about discrimination on grounds of gender, obviously, but also colour, creed, sexual preference, all that sort of thing. Really interesting. So I think even if, I didn't know really anything about it before that at all. I'd heard of Gloria Steinem, I'd heard of Betty Friedan and so on. I see that Gloria Steinem hasn't given it a rave review, but for me,
Colin gets a double dip today because we just heard his trailer and he's here to tell us what's on the show tonight.
Colin!
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Good evening. Hope you're all well.
Yes,
great
Colin.
to be with you. Coming up, before you ask, sweet and sour pork. I know.
Oh,
A bit different for a Monday. Coming up after 8 o'clock this evening, we'll be chatting to stand-up comedian, actor, writer and Wycombe Wanderers fan Cy Thomas about his experiences from 7 days ago, of course, with Wycombe getting promoted to the Championship, and we'll be finding out some of the work that he perhaps has coming up as well. We'll be looking at some top online comedy that's available for you and what great venues like Northern Farm are doing over the summer holidays too. All that and some fine music, much of which inspired by, open brackets, taken from closed brackets drive time. Lots to look forward to through till 10 on a Monday here at Wycombe Sound.
lovely. Thank you, Colin. Excellent stuff. What a professional.
Useless.
Thank you.
That's a bit rude, isn't it?
Thank you. He obviously thought I was being sarcastic.
This is painful.
All right, now he's just get out, Colin. Get out. Okay, Colin's up after the news at 8 o'clock.
I like the sound of that.
Right, all right, get out.
He's gone. He's gone.
Is he paid by the word?
Ooh, touchy.
I've got loads. We can do this all night.
No, well, you should have told us this an hour ago. We could have been doing
Idiots.
this all the
Yeah.
time. Fine. Should we get on to our main review of the
Yes,
evening? Oh,
please.
Maddie has just messaged to say, firstly, she says we're very quick-witted. Thank you, Maddie.
We've got nothing else,
There you go.
Maddie.
She doesn't listen to much radio. And she says, have we watched the other one? And I have, and we haven't reviewed it. So I might review that next week. So Maddie, if you want to get a review in, please do.
How did she do that?
She can email it to mondaymovies@wycombesound.org.uk.
Nice.
Just along here. Oh, no, it's not there.
It's not there yet.
Let's get on to our review of the old
The Old Guard.
blockbuster.
Go on, carry on.
Why is it going wrong again?
No, that's right. It's right. It's good. You're good. Keep going.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the new blockbuster Netflix movie that has already, after 1 week, become one of the most watched Netflix original films ever. It stars Charlize Theron along with Mathieu Schoenaerts, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Kiki Lane. So the four of them, the four main characters, at the start, they seem to be like a small band of mercenaries who are going around helping governments by, rescuing people who have been kidnapped, helping out in hostage situations, stuff like that. And it seems like a fairly bog standard action film about that kind of thing. Until about 20 minutes in, you find out that they're not normal at all. They are, in fact, immortals who have lived different amounts of times. Some of them are older than others, Charlize Theron being the oldest. And they have spent the whole of their life through history helping and sometimes hindering people, sometimes on the side of good, sometimes on the kind of bad. Then we find Kiki Lane, who is a soldier in the American army. She's killed while she's on duty, but miraculously recovers, and it turns out that she is another of the immortals. They hook up with her after they are hoodwinked by Chiwetel Ejiofor into doing a job for him, but all he really wants is to capture them because he is working for one of the...
Oh, well, I was really in... Oh, you're back. You dropped out.
Sorry.
You dropped out.
Go on, keep going.
Keep going.
Where did I get to?
Literally, it was like 3 words that you missed.
Okay, so yes, Chiwetel Ejiofor is working for one of the biggest pharma companies in the world. They want to harness the power that the immortals have because they think they can save lives. They are kidnapped by them, and then the new girl has to help rescue them.
Well, you say that the girl joins them. They kind of kidnap her.
Well, they kind of kidnap her, but in the context of the film, she does join with them. I didn't want to give too much away. So, who wants to go first? I'll go first.
Go on.
Duncan, what do you think?
I'll tell you what I think. I thought it was really good fun. I thought it was directed really well by a woman whose films I've not watched before, Gina Prince Bythewood. I've not seen anything by her before, but I was very impressed with what she did. I liked that it was dark. And quite serious for a lot of the time. I loved the fact that it has a gay couple as two main characters in a film that they make nothing of. There's no explanation. They're just a couple who happen to be gay, and they happen to be the two lead characters. And it's not, some of the big films like Star Trek, Star Wars, they've shoved a kiss in right at the end or something just to show, oh look, we're down with the kids. But this just, you don't even know that they're a gay
No,
pair until like halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have some great scenes together. So I really like that. I thought Charlize Theron is fantastic. She's sort of turned into the female Liam Neeson, who, you know, in later years he became an action hero.
You will find me.
She's become an action hero
Yeah.
now, and I love that. So that's all the positives. So overall, yeah, really liked it. The negative side, I thought it could have done with a few more laughs.
Yes.
A bit of levity somewhere would have been quite nice. It has one of the worst villains I've seen in a big movie recently.
Yes.
Laughably bad villain.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got the
Who is
job.
he? I didn't recognise him.
He's from Harry Potter. He's one of the Dursleys.
Oh.
But he
I thought he was. I thought I recognised him.
He is absolutely... I mean, I thought if he stood in front of me, I could take him. He's just,
I mean, yeah, you have, yeah.
He's just such a weaselly, weak character.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I really did like it. It's like an X-Men movie that is better than the last 3 X-Men movies.
Well, most things probably are.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of an origin story of superheroes who aren't superheroes, because even though they're immortals and they've lived thousands of years, some of them, and they're doing all this stuff, they haven't actually got superpowers. Their only power is they don't die. Which I really liked. So yeah, I thought it was really good.
Tobi.
Luke, Tobi, what did you think of the Old Guard?
Well, I completely agree.
Hey.
I really did love it. I agree. I wish there was a few more laughs, but I mean, again, it's not. That's not the end of the world. I thought the acting was amazing. I thought, is it Charlize Theron?
Charlize Theron.
Every time I see it interviewed, that's what the interviewer goes for. And I'm like, she must be sick of that question. So how do you pronounce your name? She must
Is
be
it
sick.
Charlotte?
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was absolutely incredible. I thought the action scenes were very entertaining. There was a lot of twists, which I didn't see coming. I thought there's a lot of wounds, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of wounds which look really realistic. It's funny as well. You kind of forget, without ruining it, you kind of like forget that they're immortal, and then when they get killed, you're like, they're dead, and then it comes back, which I quite liked, that I kind of forgot about it, and then I was like, oh yeah, of course. Two things. So I wish there were more laughs in it, but again, it hasn't bothered me that much. My main thing is, I thought the soundtrack was so weird, as in, not that I like the music that they used, I did not think it went with the scene at all. I thought it was so out of place. The songs they used.
I didn't even notice any music, if I'm honest. Really,
no, the songs for the scene changes I thought was so random. I was like, this is the worst choice of song for this scene change. So that was the only thing that really put me off. I thought the music could have. They needed to put a different soundtrack in there, because I really didn't think that worked well with the film. But
I'm gonna watch it again, so I'll make a note of that. And on the subject of laughs, I have, we're obviously being a bit picky because they don't have a lot to laugh about. But it just would have been nice for one of the characters to be slightly more witty to lighten it. But yeah.
But I completely agree with you, Duncan. And Charlize Theron is a badass. So, it's great.
Excellent. Luke, don't let the side down. What did you think of the Old Guard?
Do you think I'm going to like it or not?
I think
the way you've been...
You've got a few negatives. I'm going to put it that way.
Duncan?
I don't think you liked it for some reason. Oh,
it was all right. I agree on many of the points, though. I think that the guts in some of the scenes were really good, and there's one of the characters is sat in a chair and he's been killed, and his intestines are on show, and are out, and that looks really good. And the healing as well. I mean, I've only really seen things like that in like something like Torchwood, where Captain Jack obviously can't get killed, and they had things like that as well. But yeah, it just it's not my cup of tea, really.
Okay.
But I liked the fact that it was an original, a new story. I didn't recognise any music in there, so maybe I wasn't concentrating.
No, I'm going to have to listen again just to listen to the music.
But I agree. I do feel like at some points it just needed some sort of humour in it, or just a laugh or two. And there was one other bit. What was it? I saw the main twist coming.
I didn't.
Okay, I didn't.
And it's always very nice to see the original Lola in a film.
Who's the original Lola?
Who played Kinky Boots? I can. Never remember what his name is. The not signed.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well-
yeah.
Well, you're almost right.
I'm
I mean,
almost right.
I have one other small complaint is that, especially after we talked about Mission Impossible last week, some of the action scenes were really edited a lot. And I sat thinking, why don't you just keep the camera on?
The thing that I didn't like was the fact that at the beginning, it's her laying down, going, "Oh, this happens all the time," and every time I think, why? But I don't feel like there's a big enough gap between that scene happening again. Because when they've done that before, that's been like right at the end of the film when they've had like but that was like 10 minutes or 20 minutes into the film. And it's just like, oh really? Okay. It just felt very fresh in my head and not like
All right.
yeah. And I feel like in the trailers as well, they've mentioned the fact, like the big thing about them being immortal is mentioned in the trailer. So when it got to it, I was a bit like, yeah, I no.
I hadn't seen the trailer.
No, okay.
So,
Okay.
No, nor have I.
No.
Out of 10?
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, sorry. All I was going to say is the very last thing. I think when it started, I thought, okay, it's going to be kind of a Sicario kind of film, but it completely just switched instantly, and I didn't expect it. And I love it, and I think again, like you said, I think I saw the trailer, but I didn't really watch it. I just saw it, on Netflix when you hover over it and it just starts. The trailer just plays. So yeah, I think that's why I enjoyed it, because I didn't really know what it was going to be about.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Toby, out of 10?
8.
Duncan, out of 10?
8.
I'm going to give it 6. 6.5, 7.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me because
Yeah, we
everything
can.
seems to be going.
No, we
You
can. We can.
It ends. I was just want to say it ends with the possibility
yes.
of a sequel, and I would be more than happy to see a sequel to it.
I thought it was a very obvious like who was waiting. I thought when it was happening. But yeah.
I'm quite happy to see another one. I'd be very happy to see another one. And also, I've got to say, the scene where Charlize Theron's, I'm not going to say partner, because for all we know, they were a gay couple as well, when they've been living, and how her partner is actually not killed, but held. I almost had a tear in my eye during that, because the thought of being trapped the way she is for eternity was absolutely horrible.
I feel like we should say it's quite graphic at some points.
Yes, it is quite graphic.
Horrific.
Distressing.
Yeah, especially the in the first 20 minutes when you realise. I mean, I was a bit like, okay. But yeah, and then when they say how they're tortured as well, again, that's fairly graphic. What is it, a 12A on Netflix or what?
Well, I hope it's not a 12A.
No, I was going to say
because it's a bit in your face.
It is a little bit, isn't it?
Bit guts and gore for 12A.
Yeah.
I mean, 15 probably.
Probably the 15. It is a 15. Yeah,
it's definitely a 15.
But sorry, and I'm going to just expand on your point quickly, Luke.
Go for it.
The healing, I thought was amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was very good. There
is a part where I won't ruin it, but one of the characters completely mangled, shall I say, and then she just folds back to life, and amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
Good. Oh, well, all round positive.
Yeah.
Two very positive and one fairly positive. So that's
when it's like outstanding, it was good.
Yes.
It was yeah.
Well, that is The Old Guard. It is available now on Netflix, and it's highly recommended, I think.
There you go.
A few other things to review. I might not have time. Run out of time. Who'd have thought we'd run out of time?
Every week you say we haven't got enough time, and then
I know.
We'll have enough time.
I'll quickly flick through a few. Slender Man, which is a horror film from a couple of years ago that I missed at the cinema and I watched on Netflix. Absolutely terrible.
Well, it's based on a game, so are you shocked there?
Well, it's based on an urban myth, isn't it? About the Slender Man.
But it came into a game and then a film.
I don't know if it's something to do with Netflix, but majority of the film I couldn't see. It looked like it was shot with the lens cap on. It was so dark. Yeah. So that was terrible. Don't bother. I didn't even get to the end of it. We did start to watch Cursed, the new Arthurian legend female-led series on Netflix, and we got halfway through episode 1 and stopped. Oh. So can't say we recommend that either, unless I think you're a teenage girl who I think is named. Oh, Luke.
Hello.
You'll probably quite like that. Also watched Nerve on Amazon Prime, which is a thriller with not Julia Roberts, Emma Roberts and Dave Franco, about two people playing an online game where they get dared to do more and more outrageous things to win money. It's an interesting concept, very, very poorly executed. It makes no sense, and you do sit there most of the time going, no, that can't happen. So yeah, again, it's aimed at teenagers. It's just not very good at all. Also rewatched on Netflix Hannibal, sequel to Silence of the Lambs, where Julianne Moore takes over from Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling. And it got terrible reviews when it came out. I remember quite liking it. It's directed by Ridley Scott. It's got Gary Oldman, who plays Mason Verger, who is trying to capture Hannibal Lecter and offers a reward. Very, very... Whereas Silence of the Lambs was rooted in a kind of reality, it felt real, and you felt that it was real FBI chasing a serial killer. This is completely over the top. It's like gothic horror, grand guignol, all set in Italy, and I love it. I think it's great. Okay. Yes, I absolutely love it. It was better than I remembered, and I looked back at some of the reviews that came out at the time, and it got slaughtered when it came out because it wasn't Silence of the Lambs, and it was so completely different from Silence of the Lambs. But I think it's very, very entertaining.
Okay,
there you go.
Nice.
How's that?
Good long list.
Got a minute left. What should we talk about now?
Have you watched Sex Education yet?
Absolutely not.
Have you watched New Girl yet? No,
absolutely not.
Homework this week. Watch some Sex Education.
We already have homework for this week. We mentioned it last week. For you two charming people, it is to watch the new film. Well, it's not a new film. It's new to Netflix. It's called Searching.
Okay.
Oh,
Stars John Cho
I really want to see this.
as a man searching for his daughter, and it's all filmed on laptop screens and phone screens and chat rooms and spreadsheets.
Oh,
Believe it or not, spreadsheets play a big part in part of the film.
Nice.
So yeah,
love a good spreadsheet.
we'll review. Yeah, so do I. Yeah. So we'll review that next week. So that's good.
Good.
Okay.
I think you should watch some Sex Education.
All right, I'll try to. What's the program or just some sex education? Okay, right, fair enough. I might do that. That's on Netflix as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Series 1.
How many? Bearing in mind, I've watched one episode.
Yeah.
How many do I need to watch before I know if I'm going to enjoy it?
2 or 3.
2 or 3, yeah.
2 or 3 more.
I mean, you're the only person that doesn't like it. So
I can't imagine I'm the only person.
No, I think you are the only person.
No, there will be people who don't like it.
No,
Luke. No, there will. Trust me. Stop generalising. Honestly. But that's it for this week. Thank you very much for listening. We're back at the same time next week, 7 o'clock on Monday evening, where we will be reviewing, what did I say? We're reviewing Searching. And don't forget, you can send your reviews in if you'd like to have it. Too late to tell. We'll tell them in the podcast. Luke and Toby, thank you very much.
Thank
you, Duncan.
Well done, everybody. Well done for filling an hour. Very good.
Every week, they're like, no, we're not going to fill an hour.
I know. But I feel there's going to come a point when we're going to be speaking for an hour about anything other than films.
Well, something that I would like to mention in the extras part of the podcast is something that we mentioned last week, but I'd like to delve more into it, and that is the fact that Mr. Toby Stubbs, who is, if you're new to this is Toby here. This is Toby just here. Last week gave us a little tease of a song that he's recorded. And I think we should tell Toby, Duncan, our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
So we'll review his song. So
can I swear or
no? You can't. No. So Duncan, we'll start with you.
Well, Toby, I hate to say this, but you know what happens when people leave a band and go solo because they think they're better than the other person. It very, very rarely works out. But it has for you because it's really good.
Thank you. I have to say that a bit like the film that we reviewed. No, I'm joking. I also very much enjoyed it. It's very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a very impressive track.
It's annoying, to be honest. Annoying how good it is.
Oh God, it's very annoying.
It's very annoying how good it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, guys, thank you so much. It's the other people I played it to. They said it sounds like early 2000s kind of sound. I don't know if you agree with that.
Well, I mean, Duncan said Snow Patrol, so yes.
I said Snow Patrol, so that's early 2000s.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah,
And I meant that as a compliment. I love Snow Patrol.
I
you
like
go.
the fact that you went you listened to it and then you went, oh, it sounds like Snow Patrol. Did you like Snow Patrol? Should have done that the
If
other
you
way around.
don't worry.
I hate
no,
them.
Snow Patrol, good.
Yeah.
I like Snow Patrol.
But no, I
No,
like Snow
honestly-
Patrol. But then after I said it, I suddenly thought, oh, what if he thinks Snow Patrol are,
No,
What if he's like a
I
muso?
Snow Patrol. No.
Good.
I like Snow Patrol.
Well,
But yeah,
when
probably-
will we be able to play this on the radio?
I don't know. I need to get the artwork sorted, and
You don't really need that for the radio. I'm
No,
not sure. I'm not sure if you know how radio works.
no, very, very good point. No, well, I'll probably release it in October.
Okay.
Is that a good time for releasing music?
September, October. I don't know. Well, unless I wait till next year, but then I don't know. I kind of want to release it the year I made it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you got any ideas for the artwork?
Not really. I've spoken to an artist who did some 12th Avenue artwork at the moment, and he said he's quite busy
Oh.
for the next week or so. So that's what I mean. He won't be able to do it for another week. So, but yeah. So hopefully, yeah.
So to answer the question,
this year.
we will be able to play it on the radio.
And on the
I'll tell you
podcast.
what, you can have the first play.
Thank you, Tobi.
Thank you. No, he's talking to me.
No, he's talking to me. You got
He's talking to
you got
me.
the first play of it last time.
Fine. No one listens to Drive Time. So it'll be like me having the first play.
Right.
That's
Okay.
fine.
No, honestly, thank you so much.
We can play it on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, but no,
Excellent.
thank you.
It's very
Good.
good.
That's
very,
that sycophantic section out of the way.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
we're meant to be interviewing you this week, aren't we?
Oh, are we? Oh, actually, I would listen. I'm sorry. I keep meaning every time I listen to a podcast to write bits down to ask you stuff.
Right,
So I'm
okay.
going to start doing that because both of you keep saying you're either going to watch something or and we never follow up. So
Right.
from next week, I'm going to start. But there were two things I was going to mention. One, Tobi, did you ever finish The Last Dance?
Funny enough, I watched literally 2 episodes yesterday or the day. No, I've got like 9 and 10 left, so I'm nearly finished it.
So you nearly finished.
So I am working through it, yeah.
Okay, and Luke, we
Hi.
talked about the Truman Show.
Yes.
You hated the ending.
Yes.
I watched it I watched it again last week,
Oh.
and I've forgotten how much I absolutely love the ending.
Well, you would.
Did I tell you why?
Why do you like it?
Because his whole life has been on
Yeah,
screen
yeah,
and watched
no.
by everybody. So the minute he leaves that is
Very
the
good
minute that
point.
no one can
Very-
That
follow
is
his
very good
life,
point.
and
That's a
that's
very
why
good
I
point.
love that ending.
That is a very,
very
very,
good
very
point.
good point.
If
Yeah.
you wrote an essay about
God, I hate you so much.
But that, yeah. But after so I watched it the week after you reviewed it.
Yeah.
And it holds up.
It does.
really well.
It does
It's
hold up really well.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
I
hate.
enjoyed
I
it.
can't believe you
Good
just
stuff.
said that now because I cannot now longer not go.
Now you're like,
I really hate the ending because that's why they did it, and that
The
makes
funny thing,
sense.
because I was watching it and I
Oh,
remember,
shut up.
and I remember what you
Luke,
said.
this bit.
No, I was watching it and I remember what you said, and it's getting to the end, and I couldn't remember the actual last scene. I
Right.
knew the boat hits the back
set.
wall, but I couldn't remember how it ended. And when it did, I was like, "Oh, Luke is so wrong about that."
I think
So wrong.
if they didn't show the girl running to get her stuff, like to meet him, I think I would
Yeah.
have been happy with that. Like if she wasn't in that bit.
Yeah,
But
so
but
you would have preferred him to walk out and then embrace.
No.
and-
If she wasn't there, and then because I've got questions, you know. Whereas if Am I
and
only-
that's the whole point. You can't; those can't be answered anymore because he's not live
I
on
know.
TV.
It's a bit like, well, not really, but you know, Inception, where the
Yeah.
thing's spinning at the end.
But that didn't annoy me. Really, that just that was quite. I like that ending. I think the fact that because you see her running and to find him, to see him, I was like, well, does she get there? But if she wasn't in that bit and they just ended it there, I think I'd have been happy. But now that you've said that and I hate you so much, that I understand it. Yeah, and I can no longer say that I hate the ending.
Good.
Imagine if there were guards the other side of that door.
Exactly.
So as soon as she thinks she's going to meet him, and then he gets shut back in.
Yeah. Or
But he couldn't because everyone has seen him walk through the door.
Or is that
Yeah, but-
is that the real life? Does he go into another set? Does he actually think
now
that's the set?
Just leave it. Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, that's from 2 weeks ago. But every time I listen to a podcast, there are things that but both of you say it, and we never follow up. So
Right.
I'm going to start making notes and following up.
Okay.
Okay.
Whether you want to or not, basically.
that's fine. It's basically how the show works anyway.
Anything else? Anything else you'd like to talk about in this little
we've been 10 minutes,
extra?
and apparently Toby can only be with us for 10 minutes. So.
Oh, yeah, you've got to go, Toby.
Yeah. What's more exciting, Toby?
No, it's not. It's not nothing.
No, okay.
It's nothing.
Was that mother or sister or girlfriend that was coming through the door asking me?
Girlfriend.
No, it was definitely a girl.
Oh, I wasn't there for that bit.
Yeah, girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend.
Maybe we should interview her about Toby.
God. Don't know how that would.
Or maybe when he said I'll only be 10 minutes, he was talking about something completely different. maybe I misunderstood that whole conversation.
Maybe you did.
Possibly. No.
Like putting the washing out or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that's
Get
what
your mind out of the gutter. Yeah. Can we do you want us to interview you, Duncan?
Oh God, if you want to.
I mean, I feel like it'd be very interesting. You have to live the longer life than us.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, you're so old. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh no, Toby, you lead. Me and Duncan led the other two, so you can lead this one.
Hi, Duncan. Welcome to the show. I don't know what its name is.
The Toby Stubb Show.
Thank you. It's been a dream of mine to come on.
We're here with Luke Davis, and we're wondering.
I was hoping there wouldn't be that, but okay.
We're wondering why.
Why? Yeah, basically, that's it. Why?
Why?
Duncan Strip. Why? The age-old question.
Why do you like films so much?
I have absolutely no idea. My mum and dad never watched films. They never took me to see a film.
But your life has kind of revolved around them because you worked at Blockbusters for how long?
Yeah, I went to see the first film on my own at the cinema when I was 13. And then just kept going on my own. But yeah, no one in my family likes or watches films or ever has.
Do you think it's escapism? Do you think
probably yes, because I didn't have the nice, I had let's not get into childhood. It wasn't great. No. So yes, a bit of escapism was nice, yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. There was no abuse or anything. I don't want you to think I was Oliver Twist or something like that. It was just a, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know why.
And you never wanted to be an actor or a director?
Yes, always wanted to be an actor.
Oh, God, I'd love to see Duncan in a film.
You see, you can ask questions now that our friend Shona, whenever she asks me a question about my childhood, she always ends up crying because she feels so sorry for me. Yes, I always wanted to be an actor, and I told my parents that, and they said, no, not a chance. You're not doing drama at school. You do these subjects, and so it's not like now. We're going back a few years.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have had that same thing.
You can, you did what your parents told you, and so I wasn't allowed to do drama. So yes, acting. That was what I always wanted to do.
What did you see yourself as, like actor-wise? Were you doing rom-coms or action or
drama?
Drama.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Bit of Shakespeare.
Daniel Day-Lewis, kind of.
Kind of Daniel Day-Lewis, yes.
And
So
acting on stage or acting in films?
Stage.
Oh, okay.
But then thinking about it now, I think that would have been terrible because I do have a recurring dream where I'm on stage and I can't remember any lines.
Right.
Again, I think a lot of people have those as well.
And whenever I go to the theatre now or watch a scene in a film that's really long, one take.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do they remember all those words?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could.
We did at drama. In drama.
How long did you do drama for?
I did it for 3 years, Duncan.
Oh.
We did a play called... Can't remember.
Interesting name for a play.
I know. Oh, it's really 39 Steps.
Oh, okay, yeah. Robert Donat.
Well done. And there is a very long monologue by one of the main characters. I think Duncan can't hear us again.
I can hear.
Okay. There's
he just doesn't care.
He just doesn't care. It's like normal, so I can carry on. So yeah, one of the main characters has a really long monologue, and we all had to learn it to sort of in the real life. There's very long monologues sometimes, and no one remembered all of it because it was pages long. And it's like whoever had to do this bit, well done to them for actually remembering it. Because it is Mr. Memory was the character.
Okay.
And
How
yet,
ironic.
I know. It was ridiculous though, but it wasn't easy words. It was all about scientific stuff as well. It
I
was
know,
crazy.
but that's the other thing. It's all very well, trying to remember a long section from Inception or something. But when it's Shakespeare, I remember
exactly.
I've only been to see one Shakespeare play, and I just sat there like, how? Mind you, I wouldn't have known if they got the words wrong because obviously
No,
Shakespeare
exactly.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
But yeah. So yeah, I would have loved to have been an actor.
I can see what's the worst that could happen here.
What's some acting?
Get you on stage at the Swan in the pantomime.
Oh yes, let's do that. If that ever happens, if the Swan is still
Swan is
there
still
after
there,
this, all that, yeah. Or maybe one of the amateur dramatic societies that we've got around. Yeah.
There you go.
Idea.
But then I have this terrible feeling I wouldn't be very good as well. So
Oh, but it'd be funny though. What? So how did you get to Blockbusters?
how did I get to Blockbusters? Let me think. I was running. I was running a Ritz video store before they were bought out by Blockbusters.
So how did you get to that?
Yeah. How did I get to that? I just got
Stumbled in the store one day.
no. I just applied for a job and got it. It's very boring. Very very boring. They applied in Bletchley near Milton Keynes.
Wow.
Used
Okay.
to run the store there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you ran 2 of them in the end, didn't you?
Yes, I did run 2 of them, and then when I was in Blockbuster, I managed the most successful store in the country. Thank you very much.
And then they all went down.
And then they went bust. But then that was bad management from the top because
right.
Blockbuster.
Not your fault.
Blockbuster was obviously the biggest name in entertainment. You know, it was everyone in every country knew what Blockbuster was.
Even though TV.
And they had what do you call it when you have all of the market share? They had a monopoly.
Yeah.
Because everyone went to a Blockbuster store.
Yeah.
And when I was working in their head office, they had the opportunity to buy Netflix. Because at the time, Netflix were just a DVD by post.
Yeah. Were they called
Rented
Love Film or
DVD by
something?
post.
Something, yeah.
Love Film. And Netflix bought Love Film.
Yeah.
And it was where you rented a DVD and they sent it through the post. Blockbuster did that as well through the post. And Netflix could have been bought by Blockbuster. But the people who ran Blockbuster at the time laughed at streaming.
Wow.
And thought it would never take
Really?
off. But then you have to remember, going back further when I first started, when it was VHS, they didn't want to do DVD because they thought it would never take off.
I bet they are absolutely kicking themselves now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Netflix should never have existed in this country. It should have just been Blockbuster because they already had the brand.
Yeah.
They
I
would
mean,
have been
Disney
huge.
probably would have brought them at some point.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously. But everyone would have made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But there we go. Yeah.
Oh.
Fascinating stuff.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here.
To quote you from last week, now you're here, sat in front of a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
Anything else? Is that it?
What's the best gig you've ever been to?
Oh, good
Or have you-
question.
I've never been to many gigs because I don't particularly like live music because
loud?
I always find it slightly disappointing because it doesn't sound as good as when I'm listening at home on a decent stereo
Well,
system.
I mean, that depends where you go and
You
sing.
haven't been to a good gig.
Yeah, you've obviously been to
I
someone that
have-
can't sing the same live as they can on a
I have been
record.
to see good gigs, but if I had to pick one,
Kate Bush.
it would be Kate Bush 7 years ago at the Hammersmith
Yeah.
Apollo.
I mean, yeah, I think that's always disappointing when you go and see someone and you go, oh, you can't actually sing live.
But the thing was, yes, she didn't sound as good as the records.
Yeah.
But she only toured once in 1979. Then she did this residency of 30 days at the Hammersmith, and that's all she's ever done live.
Right, okay.
So to be able to see her was just incredible because she'll never do it again. So you'll never get the chance to see her live again. So that was
Do you know who I'm looking forward to going and see?
no.
Cool.
And we had the opportunity as well.
Toby Stubbs.
That is 12 Hour Avenue, yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to go in March to
Yeah.
St Albans.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were meant to be playing festival next month. That's been cancelled.
Oh.
Yeah.
Toby, your
All
favourite?
the gigs been cancelled. Favourite? I mean, I'm going to be biased here probably because they're my favourite band, but Royal Blood, they're
yeah.
incredible. Who else did I see? I saw Gary Clark Jr. I don't know if you know him.
You've
He's
mentioned him a
pretty
couple of times.
For one
Yeah.
awful moment, I thought he was going to say Gary Glitter.
No.
Relief.
Oh God, I have to think back. Who else?
See, I thought you would be like this with like people that you've seen live.
I've seen so many people over the years.
He just wants to say 12-Hour Avenue.
I saw myself in a mirror once. I was great.
Foo Fighters were great.
I can imagine the Foo Fighters are very good.
God, it's hard to actually think back. I know that sounds weird.
The other thing about the last live one I think we went to was Emily Sandé at the Brixton Academy. And it was just annoying. Everyone was standing in front of you holding cameras up. At least back when I went, to see the other one, Peter Gabriel at Earl's Court.
That was my number 2 for you, yeah.
That was stunning. But back in those days, no one had a camera.
No, or lighters.
So, you watched the performance. But when we went to see Emily Sandé, majority of people weren't watching her. They were watching her through a screen. You think, you're never going to watch that video again.
No.
Well, Jack White?
Yes.
Yeah, for all his gigs, you have to put your phone in a locker.
Yeah.
For his gigs. He doesn't have phones.
Coldplay did that in one of their songs, Charlie Brown, they said everyone put your phone away.
Kate Bush just told people they weren't allowed. She didn't ban phones or take them off people. She just put a message out saying you're not allowed to use a phone. And because they're Kate Bush fans, if you go online now and try and find footage of that performance, you can't.
No.
There isn't any footage online because everybody did as they were told.
Followed the rules.
Yeah.
I think my all-time favourite is Panic at the Disco.
He's got a very good range.
Brendan Urie, he did basically 2.5 hours back-to-back songs. You go and see some people, they'll talk quite a lot. He said, hello, thanks for coming, and there were 2 sort of longer, not speeches, but longer bits. But other than that, it was just back-to-back music. And even when they were changing guitars or bass, there was music in between it, which I thought was really good. It didn't just go silent and you just hear the crowd sort of then going, that was a really good song. They had music in between. There was like a drum off in the middle of it halfway through a song.
Nice.
The drum came through the middle of the he's ridiculous. He's so talented.
It's fascinating, but it was supposed to be my interview.
No, I know.
But that's fine.
This is where we all talk together.
That's fine.
Last question from me: is Kate Bush your favourite artist?
Yes. Well, yes.
I know that's
Kate Bush, Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Right.
Flip flop.
And they did a very famous song together. So,
yeah.
Which actually reminds me, Tobi.
Reminds you?
Reminds me, Tobi. I've been listening to all my old Peter Gabriel albums, and there's one I would like you to listen to. I don't know if you can get it on Spotify or anything, because the drumming on it, and it's one of the most drum-heavy albums. Well, two of them actually have got such good drumming. Well, at least I think it's such good drumming. So I'd like to,
You like Professional?
They didn't have titles, so one is called Melts, I think, because it looks like his face is melting, and the other one.
Oh yeah, it is on there. No. Peter Gabriel Melt remastered.
Oh, it's called Melt.
What song though?
All of them.
Oh, I see.
They're very drum heavy. Hang on, I can't know. The other one is.
Car.
Not Car.
I Like Driving.
Us.
Not Us.
Security.
Security.
Scratch My Back.
Not Scratch My Back. What's Security?
Scratch.
Would you recognise the cover of it?
Yeah.
Shake of the Tree.
There you go.
No.
Oh.
Can't see it.
It's blue and yellow.
Let's have a look.
Hang on.
Does it look like it's got a monkey on the front?
No.
You sure? I think it is. That's the one.
Is that a monkey?
What's that called?
Security.
Security, that's the other one.
Okay.
Security and Melt.
Okay. All right. I'll have a listen.
I'd like an expert review or opinion of the tracks.
An album review this time next week here on Monday Movies. Yeah.
It's funny because Melt, which was his the album where he had his first solo hit, Games Without Frontiers. It was the first time I remember listening to an album. There probably were loads before that. That every song had they they were all linked.
Right,
They're all linked by
They're
madness.
a concept album.
Yeah, so one of them is linked by madness, and the other one is linked by, I think it's just world things that happen to people in the world. So like Native Americans being dispossessed and stuff like that. But yeah, both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
There you go. Nice.
Well, we've gone on, haven't we?
We have, yeah. Toby's 15 minutes late.
Oh, the girlfriend will be chomping at the bit
No, she won't.
to have dinner.
To
obviously.
put the washing up.
Yeah,
right.
put the washing up.
Put the washing up.
That's a
Yes.
euphemism I am going to use from now on. Clinton, should we put the washing out?
And on that
Should we hang
bombshell,
something up? All right then.
we'll be
Thank you.
back next week with reviews
We're
of
back next week.
Searching,
We're going to review
Searching.
Searching.
Peter Gabriel's 2 albums. I'll have a
That's
listen
it,
as
yeah.
well.
Oh yeah, have a listen as well. 'Cause
I like
we
a
need
bit of
to fill
Peter
the
Gabriel.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Probably you can't
Alright then.
generalise, Duncan, but there's probably somebody that doesn't like Peter Gabriel.
No, apparently not. Apparently you can generalise like that because apparently there's no one that doesn't like sex education.
Yeah.
The programme.
The programme.
not sex education.
Well,
The
again,
subject.
there probably is some people. Yeah. Anyway,
Right then.
moving on.
Till next week.
Right.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Farewell.
Fare thee well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.